come to life and blossom. There is someone out there that will help you. If you know, many times we hide, and we hide, and sometimes we're with the wrong.
Good morning. A wonderful morning this morning, and thank you so much for always tuning in to Gospel in the Real. My name is Tasheekia Perry, and I am the founder of Crowning Daughters for Success Enrichment Program.
And I'm Pastor Patricia Bryan, Nazareth Church of God here in Cape Coral. Glad to have you with us this morning, and we're going to be talking about a wonderful subject. Would you like to introduce our subject?
Yes, we're going to be talking about a subject, and we would like for you to tag, email, whatever you can do to get this message to a sister, a friend, a cousin, female. We want all young ladies to realize that you are not alone. There are so many women suffering in silence because we have that stance, we have that look of independence, that look that we have it all together. But behind closed doors, the enemy is tormenting us, but not after today.
Not after today. We need to understand that we have an opportunity to cry out and to ask for help. And in Mark chapter 10, verse 47 through 48, you have the story of the blind man, Bartimaeus, and he's sitting on the wayside, and he's blind, but he hears that Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. He hears a commotion, and he was not ashamed to cry out. He had a need, and he cried out. And what got me in that story, he cried out until Jesus stood still and called him, and he was delivered from his blindness. Today we want to encourage you to cry out and not bear your burdens alone, stand in silence, suffer. You don't have to suffer. We are called to freedom.
Yes, we are.
We are called to be free. We're called to stand out. And I understand that we have many things that we keep within as women. Some men, because, you know, we have no need for it. We can let it out. And I know why many of us won't speak what's going on in our lives, because we have some people you can't tell your story
Absolutely.
to. But there is always someone that you can cry out to. And the number one person for that is God.
The number one person for
That's
that is
the
God.
number one. Before we go anywhere, that's the number one person you cry out. The number two, you find someone who is sound, someone who knows the word, someone who is steadfast in Christ. Make them your friends.
Make them your friends.
Make them
so
your
glad
buddy.
You're my buddy.
My buddy. I can cry out and help will come.
Absolutely. You know, I had to learn that the hard way, because I am more of an introvert when it comes to issues. A lot of people see me bubbly and happy and, hey girl, how you doing? But when it comes to personal issues and personal things that I've gone through, I am more of an introvert. I keep it in. I deal with it within. And I've learned the hard way, after the enemy had beat me upside my head and made me feel like I was less than, made me feel like I was the only one going through, made me feel like everybody was looking at me like I was the big elephant in the room. After all of that deception and after all of that torment, I found out once I went to God with the issue, He directed me to the right person. He directed me to the person that I would be able to trust, the one that would lead me, the one that would allow Him to counsel me through them. I found that once I went to Him first. A lot of people, we see your desperation. We see the wounds. We see the hurt. We see the anger and the pain. So you are suffering in silence, but every response and everything that you do shows how you're feeling on the inside anyway. So why not Just cry out.
Why not cry out? Jesus of Nazareth is passing by.
Oh, yes.
We have to cry. That's a great example of the Lord showing us that we do not have to bear all this thing within. I'm a bit of an introvert too, and I'm a little like you. I like to laugh and giggle, and people think, oh, everything is fine, but it's all on the inside. But I also know how to cry out.
Yes.
I have learned how to cry out. I'm not afraid to say, I have this problem and I need your help. Whatever the problem is, whatever it is that you're keeping in, the secret that you're holding on to, that you're walking with, that guilt, that regret, that fear, whatever it is, that anger that you're dealing with, there is someone. Again, I say God first, and then you find that person that is sound.
That's right.
That person that you can rest on. Don't tell your things to everybody.
No.
And that's what the problem is. Most of us would just go talk to whoever. And then whoever would just go spread our story around. So now we say, well, I'm not going to tell anybody my story. And you take it all in, and now you're walking with a burden. Well, Galatians chapter 6 and 2 says that we are each other's carriers of burden. Yes. We're to bear or carry each other. Right?
Yeah.
And that means you're lame and weak, and we're going to demonstrate. I got to
hold me,
carry, and vice versa. There
are
times when we have to carry.
Right.
And what does that say? It's fulfilling the law of Christ. That's what it said. And what is that law? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Oh, yes.
So I have got to be able to find somebody that's going to love me like they love themselves and help me along in my journey, whatever it might be. So don't allow the pain, the anger, the regrets, the guilt to hold you back from being what you need to be.
Yeah, listen, again, I can speak from many biblical perspectives, but I choose to speak from my own. When I was going through a horrible divorce, I was at a friend's house, and a real friend house. I'm just like you say, you go to somebody that's sound and somebody that has your back for real. We're not talking about unfriendly friends. We're not talking about wolves clothed in sheep clothing. No, we're talking about having that proper discernment as to who you're going to cry out to. And I was at her house, and I was walking out the room, and she was in the kitchen, and she gave me one of those mama looks, and we're about the same age. But she gave me one of those mama looks, and she said, you need to cry, don't you? I said, yeah. And let me tell you, I slobbed all over her shoulders. Tears all over her neck, but you know what, I felt so much better because I cried out. I wasn't going to cry out, but it takes a true friend, it takes a true person with discernment to look at you and say, yeah, you look strong, yeah, you're working real hard, yeah, you're staying real busy, but you need to cry out.
You need to cry out. And that's something that we do. We get real busy. I know people that they are so busy they're beyond themselves, but what they're doing is hiding their pain.
Absolutely.
They're hiding everything behind. You don't need to hide behind your pain. You need to get that pain out. So you have to cry out. I mean, as women, we know that crying heals.
Yes.
Crying heals. When I cry, it heals me. It is better than holding it on the inside, because now it's all in here.
Absolutely.
And I'm full, and I can react all kinds of ways, because it's all in here.
That's right.
Well, if I cry to the Lord or to someone, your friend that you found to be a friend, we can discern a real person.
Oh, yeah.
If we take the time to look. We have to take the time to look. Watch them. Watch their attitudes. See what their character is about. Watch the people that you're at, and choose someone that has that character to be that foundational friend that you need to have, so you can express. You can go to them. I did so and so and so, and I'm feeling really guilty about it. I need someone to talk to, and you can express what it is or to pray with.